Besides the obvious differences of our two channels, Mark and I have a very similar squirrel problem. He chooses to create an obstacle course to keep them off his bird feeder, and well, I choose a more permanent solution. In today's video, we're going to take you POV style into the fight for control of my backyard. With the leaves coming down from the big oaks above, it's that time of year where the tree rats in my yard become incredibly brazen as they bury nuts and search for new places to hunker down during the real cold days ahead. This guy though, man, he had a big set, as his adventures took him deep into the Leshiy sniper hide, where many before him caught a glimpse of a shiny metal object as it barreled down upon their foreheads. As the saying goes, it takes a village. And this time of year, it's all hands on deck in my house. My two littles spotted this guy, and just like we've practiced over and over, they did the right thing. They let me know we had a tree rat inside the wire. We're going to deal with that guy and his little chipper mate at the end of this video. But today's escapade started about 6 hours prior. So let's go back in time to the beginning of the day. I had so much work to do this day, but it seems like every time I sat down, I'd glance over from my keyboard over to the table for one camera monitor. And one after another, a squirrel or a chipmunk would be sitting there waiting. So I'd run down the stairs, through the garage, and out to the sniper hide, where I had the Leshiy 2 in 7.62 ready to rip. Squirrel number 1 settled in, and it paused for just a second as I placed a 47 grain NSA bullet dead nut center. Oh man, that energy dump. Look at that thing. It just absolutely lights out. After this cliffhanger scene reenactment here, I looked up and there was a chipper just sitting above wondering what all the fuss was about. This new behemoth silencer I have on the Leshiy 2 is so quiet, but I was still pretty surprised the thud of that energy dump just a moment before didn't spook it. Well, many of you are probably screaming at me to pull the trigger. I'm always patient with these guys and wait for that perfect moment. Their reflexes are just absolutely bonkers. But per the usual, the 47 grain 7.62 doesn't really care where it hits something this small. This guy just slid down the back there, took an old dirt nap behind the tree. Alright, I got a quick little announcement. The Advent Calendar series is back. So if you're new to the channel, a few years ago we had a video per day for 25 days as we ticked off each day on the EDgun Leshiy Advent Calendar. This year, I'll be dropping a daily YouTube short with some of my favorite shots from over the year on my second channel, the EDgun USA Clips channel. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to that. I'll put a link in the description. On that channel, I do a lot of like short form videos, you know, quick bang bang, straight to the point kind of stuff. I have 4 full length videos that I'll be putting on the main channel here as well. So get ready for a month of non-stop footage. And just a quick reminder on the new merch drop and giveaway. So snag a shirt, hoodie, or the new beanie that I just released last week to get an automatic entry for the incredible 5.56 Steyr Pro X. So I'll be pulling that winner on January 16th. There's a link near the top of the description as well with all the details. So, all right. Thanks for that little break, guys. Now, let's get back to that crazy day of pest control. 2 quick ones down, and I thought the action would slow down for a bit, but man, my butt didn't even hit the chair in my office before the next one came off the roof and down for a little bite to eat. This guy looks like he's been eating more nuts than he's burying. So, for no other reason than him being a fat ass, I thought I'd test out the trigger with a double-double. and that wasn't too bad. Clean double tap, and then a dirty Sanchez third with a haircut on the tail for the fourth. You know, when sending multiple shots like this, my goal is to keep them all in about a 3-inch circle. Everything happens so fast. This is super slow-mo that you're seeing it here. So anything beyond that second shot hitting in a good spot is largely dependent on how it falls. This next one was quick to take the spot at the table for one, so clean double tap it is. With 4 down now, the others started to get the message up in the tree a little bit. So it was about an hour before the action heated up again. But instead of working, I found myself on the hunt for some gear for the channel. So I was searching for options for downrange cameras, and I stumbled upon a company called Longshot Camera. And really what caught my eye was that it had a wireless range of 2 miles. And I was like, what in the world? And from a tech perspective, man, I had lots of questions on how that's even possible. And after a little back and forth on their chat feature on their website, I found myself on the phone with their director of sales and CEO. Super cool guys, and a cool little US company here. So anyways, they gave me the rundown on it, and everything started to click and I understood it. So I'll break it down here in just a second. But while it's not intended for what I was thinking, for a long range camera to kind of show and capture different angles, they sent one for me to check out anyways. And I'm glad they did, as this thing is just incredibly cool. And I think a lot of you fellow shooters are just going to absolutely love it. So let me show you why. It took like 30 seconds to set up, and then I put it downrange to start testing it. Sure enough, squirrels everywhere. And you know what? These things are distracting. So I had to double tap this one before I really got to play with the target shooting features that this thing was intended for. With that said, those close-up shots that you just saw there were pretty good, and that was filmed through this device. So its official name is the Longshot LR3, and it's essentially a camera with a really high-powered internal Wi-Fi and a pretty big battery inside this as well. So the standalone one streams to an iPhone or an iPad up to 200 yards. And yes, they have an Android version if you use that garbage too. You can then add the second booster, which just sits right next to where you're shooting, and the range jumps to a staggering 2 miles. Cameron, the CEO, actually just won the King of 1 Mile and is moving up to the King of 2 Miles. And those long range days to prep for those events is where the birthplace really of this camera system. So the main features are all within their app. So I grabbed my Steyr Pro X on an absolutely freezing day to check it out. And this is only about 30 yards. But that doesn't matter because I'm able to showcase really how this thing works. It doesn't really matter what the yards are. So after a simple little target setup to calibrate the app, I started shooting. After each shot, you just tap the screen where the shot landed. In real time, the app can calibrate group size and provide critical data to make the adjustments needed to really dial it in if you're using it to 0, or just simple group sizes in real time. It's pretty amazing. The controls within the app are really intuitive. I did watch like a 5-minute video to get the lay of the land a bit, but other than that, I was shooting within a few minutes of taking this thing out of the box. You can turn multiple groups on just by changing the color of your marker. So after you're done with one group, change the color and you're on to the second. So the app films using the screen record feature of your phone, and this is perfect for this purpose, but for recording shots on critters like you saw on that squirrel earlier, it's a little choppy. But after playing around with it, like for its real intended purposes, I absolutely fell in love with this thing. It's super cool. So the base system I'm using here is essentially the cost of a GoPro. So in my humble opinion, this is an amazing value with a feature set that delivers everything a target shooter would ever really want. If you want to check it out, I'll throw a link in the description, and thanks to the guys over at Longshot for sending it to me and let me check it out. I am 100% going to snag one of these for up at the farm for the longer range stuff. It's going to be amazing. Testing. All right, back to the action. I was pretty rushed on this one as I was playing the mute game on a conference call. Man, it just sits right there perfect. And watch this one. Just goes all the way down. It pushed it a little bit, but that's all right. Nighty-night, bastard. All right, so that's 4 tree rats and a chipper now. So I was thinking that the day was a wrap, but that's when I heard my 2 little ones screaming from downstairs about a squirrel in the ping pong room. So back down the stairs I went. The squirrel just ran out. But just as I sat down, I saw the chipmunk eyeing me. Oh man, let's watch that shot again. That thing just turned it inside out. And although I hate these destructive little bastards, it's important to me that it's a clean, humane shot. I think we can check the box on that shot. So, just after that thing hit the ground, I saw the squirrel that was sitting on my shooting bench just a minute before running down the fence line. So, I quickly dropped down and I sent a quick little double tap. And just like that, my day of getting 0 work done came to a wrap. These 5 from earlier, and then these 2 last ones, make 7 less destructive rodents chewing on my crib. Something tells me, though, this won't be the last. Thanks for watching the EDgun Leshiy channel. Want more backyard hunting videos? Grab your favorite beverage and get yourself caught up. There's hundreds just like the one you just watched. Here's a couple favorites to get you started.